Welcome to Keep, Bench or Sell, where we go through the squad list and see who we want to stay, who should be a squad player on the bench next season, and who we want to get rid of. We're going to go top to bottom and find out if we're all in alignment or there's some disagreements going on. So look, let's get straight into it. Start with our number one, Lucas Fabianski. Keep, bench or sell?
Bench.
Yeah.
Bench.
Yeah, bench, Areola number one.
Bosh.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
Well, say it, Scott. You've got to say the official word.
Say it. It's a
Say
video.
bench.
Yeah, bench. Yeah, exactly. And I was having that. We was talking about this yesterday, Nick, because I think he's still got a lot to offer as a number two. There's still something there. He's not gone. Like, he should retire. We should get rid of him. I think he'd be a great number two. Leads us quickly. Go on.
No.
Oh. Leads us into the man who could be the new number one, Alphonse Areola. Keep, bench or sell?
Yeah, well,
You all said you might want fucking Lucas to be on the bench and a new keeper.
I'll keep, yeah, definitely keep.
Definitely keep.
Number one.
Keep, yep, I agree, keep. And then next, this is an interesting one. Ben Johnson, keep, bench or sell?
Sell.
Yeah, I have to agree. Sell is
Not good enough.
Yeah. Is there a loan option? Sell. Yeah, sell him.
Sell. Everton are interested. You'd snatch that.
Hands off.
Aaron Creswell in his 10th year.
Sell. Sell him.
Sell?
Yeah. It's not good enough for me. Yeah, look, give him like me and Ryan have disagreed on this in like privately. I don't think we should be giving people like Aaron Creswell a new contract. I think it's a waste of the space. I think we should be looking to build upon and build something new rather than keeping these players. Let's be honest, Aaron, yeah, he had a few good games last year. He's about 3 seasons gone for me. That's my opinion. Yeah, I'd sell him.
Yeah, sell. I think he's been a great servant for West Ham, but if we're going to go forward, yeah, I'd sell him. I don't think he's going to. I think we're going to have to. We've got Emerson there next season, and I think we're going to get another left back in.
Scholesy in. Well, bring Scholesy in to be the backup.
We're all agreeing so far. Scott?
I'd keep him, bench him, and bring Scholes through.
Whoa. You said two things, yeah?
Keep him, bench him. So you bench him?
I'm benching him, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
Want him on the bench?
Yeah, because I think it's good to have an experienced left back there. You've got Emerson to be the number one. You've got Scholes to come through and has still got to learn his trade. He's still got to learn the game. So it helps having an experienced player there within the squad that if we do pick up an injury, the cover's there. And you're not looking at someone young to come in and cover, you're looking at someone with experience. We've got bitten before where we didn't have enough experience cover, so, that's for me.
I would sell and get a new left back in and have Emerson and the new left back in competing for that spot. Scholes, the understudy, the odd cup game here and there, give him some time to come in.
So
maybe alone.
Scholes never play under that system because you've just gone inside another left back.
Well, no, those certain cup games, maybe he can come in off the bench or loan. He's still very young, Scholes. He's like 16, 17. So he's incredibly young. He's got time. We don't have to That's all right. He doesn't have to. Looking good. Cheers, mate.
Nice shot.
Why would the camera be pointed that way if we were sitting this way?
He does. He did like because Scholes his age. He doesn't have to be, giving. Oh, he has to be given game time next season. Next season's his time. He's got time. New left back with Emerson. Sell Cressy. Thanks for your service. Kazuma.
Keep. He's a brilliant player, man. He's our main centre back. Him and Aguerd.
This is injuries
brilliant.
worrying me. He's always injured.
But he always comes back.
Yep.
All the same on there.
I'm on the fence between keep or bench, just because I know we are linked with another centre back. I think if we could get a centre back, we could rely on to stay fit. If he's 100% fit, if he's no injury prone or anything like that, I'm keeping him. But
I see the point you're saying. I see because of the injuries. But at the moment, if you look at this at the squad that we've got at the moment, we have not signed anyone. He's a keeper.
Yeah. I'll lean on the edge of keep. Vladimir Coufal, you start, Scott.
Keep, 100% best right back in the club.
Yeah. So you don't think we could go and get out a better right back and bench him?
You're asking me what we're playing?
No, but no, because the whole point is if we bench him, we think he shouldn't be the first choice next
He should
season.
be the first choice at the moment. With the squad
Like we
we've
should
got,
get a
he's
new,
first choice.
So you wouldn't sign a
I think
replacement.
we don't need a replacement.
Okay. Lads.
I'll keep him. I think we're bringing another right back to challenge him, but I think he'll be a great backup option. And I like Coufal. I think he's been brilliant towards the end of the season. I'll keep him.
Nick.
I'd keep him. Yeah, I thought there was a point where he looked like he was definitely going to go, wasn't it? That January time, but no, he's impressed me enough. And listen, I've seen enough from Coufal over the last 4 seasons we've had him to know that he's a good right back. He has, injury concerns, and he has, but I'd keep him. Unless we could get someone a lot better. He's been our best right back for ages.
Yeah, it looked like he signed an extension. I think he was quality. I'd keep him as well. Absolutely keeps Vladimir Coufal. Class. This is a really interesting one. Angelo Ogbonna.
Well, this one for me is the one that we privately, and I'll keep it. I'll personally keep Ogbonna, just for.
But bench him, like on the bench, yeah.
Yeah, bench him, because I think he'll be good in Europe. He's good around the club, and in the change room he's a leader. And that's one thing that a lot of people slagged us off for last season, was letting too many leaders go. And if you lose, we're getting rid of Creswell, you need someone like Ogbonna just to be around that change room. And I think he deserves it as well. He's been a great servant for the club. I'll give him another year, let him finish his career at West Ham, the club that he loves.
I completely agree. Not just Creswell, if we lose Creswell, but Declan Rice as well, captain. So having someone like that, he's one of the last players from the Upton Park era. Lanzini's obviously gone. I think just his presence in and around the club. He's obviously going to be like fourth choice centre back. Going to be in a lot of competitions next season, and he showed he can still do a job. So yeah, I'm keeping him.
Same.
Sorry, go on, Nick.
Now go on, mate.
No. I'd keep him, bench him. Like what Ryan said, he is a leader. He's got experience, and he's a player that's not going to worry about not getting a lot of game time, because he knows he will get game time in certain games and when he's needed. And he's always stood up and been counted when called upon. Yeah, his age is a bit of an issue, but he rolled back the years this season in some of the games that he's played. So I'd keep him.
I'd sell him.
Why?
Just because I think if you want to progress and move on, you need to move on sometimes. And Angelo's been a fantastic player for us, and I've really enjoyed his time. But there's, we signed a year extension last year to give him this last hurrah, because he had that injury, and then we've gone and done it again. And I just think to myself, look, we've got potentially £100 million coming into the club, and I think to really compete, especially in the Europa, Europa's a step up from the Conference League. And you win a trophy and you think, right, let's get some quality players in there. There's some young, fresh players that can, be sort of stalwarts in the side for years to come. And Angelo's on his last legs, and Angelo knows that. He's a lot. I wouldn't offer him a player's contract. If he wants to stay around the club, offer him something else. If he's not finished playing, then sell him on. But if he's ready to finish up, then keep him around, definitely, 100%. He'll always be part of us. But this is where, I don't believe. You have to have a mentality where, you have to move on. You can't just be, but he's been here for so long, and all of that sort of thing. It's a nice sort of gesture, and I'm quite glad that they're keeping him around. But if it was me personally, I think you just have to be a bit more ruthless. That's all.
Thilo Kehrer.
Bench, yeah.
Bench, yeah. I think, he can have a chance to break in and kick on next season, but right now, bench, I think we will agree.
He's got the tools. As
He's
I
got the
said
tools,
in the video before, he's got the tools. Just utilising the tools.
Yeah, that's it. I think we'll all be in agreement on this one. Naif Aguerd.
Keep.
Yeah, he's the man.
Rolls Royce, mate, leader at the back.
Yeah.
Yep, keep.
Class, yeah.
He'll have a quality season next season.
Absolutely keep. I was going to say with a pre-season, he had a pre-season, that's where it all went wrong, but hopefully a smooth pre-season this season. Emerson Palmieri.
Keep.
So first choice left back next season, yeah. I agree. Keep.
I don't know. It's hard because obviously I don't know what we've got coming in, but for me, I think we can get a better left back than him. So I'll bench him.
That's the thing. It all hinges on who comes in, but at the moment he's looking as the number 1 left back.
If he's number 1, then play.
Yeah, would you? But would you? That's what I'm saying. Like, you would rather sign someone. Like, if you had to, do you think that's a priority position?
Yeah, I think I'd rather sign a more defensive left back. I think Emerson's defensively is not as good as, say, like Aaron Creswell. Going forward, he's brilliant.
Yeah.
A bit like Masuaku. Masuaku was brilliant going forward, but defensively he wasn't that good.
I think Emerson is a bit better defensively than Masuaku, but I get what you're saying.
I think that we just need like a more. We need like a new Aaron Creswell, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's one of those. If there's a player out there who's better than the player you got, no matter what position it is, you replace that player.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But then you got to look like, do we need really, is this a priority?
I think a left back's not really a priority. If there's a good left back out there available, then possibly look to bring one in. Okay. But I don't think it's a priority.
So it's not so keep. Yeah. Nick.
Keep.
Yeah. Keep. Yeah. Like I said, excellent final. He had. Keep. Excellent game in the final, and hopefully he can only kick on and improve with like a full pre-season at West Ham. This is an interesting one. Pablo Fornals.
Bench for me.
Bench for me.
Bench, I agree.
Yeah, bench.
It's a shame.
I think Fornals is one of them players. He's too good for the bench, but he's not good enough for the first team.
No, exactly.
But he always does a good job.
Yeah.
I want to see him play in that 10 role. I want to see him play centrally, not on the wing, and that's the thing. If he can get a good run of games in the middle, and we can then see what he's about, I think we might see
I just love him.
Fornals.
Every time I look at him, he just makes me smile, Fornals.
He's one of them players that
I'd be upset if he went.
you everything he has, right? And then sometimes he does. Do you remember when he fucking pulled that ball out the air at Leicester, when he scored that goal at Leicester? And you think, fucking hell, that's world-class ability, you know what I mean? And then the Alkmaar, the finish at Alkmaar. And then other times you think, fucking, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, and you just think, if he can have them good moments all the time and bring more than good moments, he'd be a definite starter.
Every team, a squad needs a Fornals.
Yes.
Because he's like one of these players. If you need a goal, you bring him on. If you need to go defensive, you bring him on. He's one of them great utility players.
He can also start. Yeah, he can also start the cup games, and
he's a bit like. He reminds me of like Ferguson with what was his name? G Park Son. Bit like him.
Yep.
And Fletcher as well.
Yeah.
Someone that comes on and just does the job. Doesn't get the credit they probably deserve, but they just do a job.
We've got a lot of games next season, so I think he can play a role.
I don't feel we haven't seen the full potential of him yet.
This one I think we'll all be in agreement on, if we can't all agree the pronunciation. Lucas Paqueta or Paqueta or Paqueta.
Packet to crisp.
Keep, bench yourself.
Yeah,
Best
keep.
player we got.
Yeah, he's Brazilian genius.
Yeah, keep.
Get the right players around him. He will thrive
That's
next
what we've got
season.
to be. You know, obviously we're not going to say Declan Rice because that's pretty unanimous. But you know, the money we get from Rice, build around.
He'll be the main man next season, I think.
If Rice leaves.
Flynn Downs, the Declan Rice replacement. Scott, I'm interested to hear what you have to say about this.
Bench him.
You're benching the replacement to our best player. That's interesting. It's interesting, Scott.
Declan Rice is still at the club. Declan Rice is still at the club, so I'm not. Look, at the end of the day, as I've explained on multiple
He ain't
videos.
no, is he?
Just come on, Scott.
Well, then if Rice goes, he starts because we haven't got a better holding midfielder.
But would you? So wait,
money.
we'll have monies. No, Scott, listen. Let me explain it again. Right. Should he be starting next season, or should we be signing better than Flynn Downs next season?
We should be signing better than every single player we've got.
No, I mean, but you have to prioritise, Scott. You have to prioritise. So you have to go. Of course, if we could sign better than Paqueta, we would. But there ain't no one better than Lucas Paqueta, right?
Now he's one of our own.
Yeah. But the point is,
follow.
Would you be comfortable? Would you be happy with Flynn Downs? Do you want Flynn Downs to start next season, or do you think we need to make? We can't have Flynn Downs starting. Well, that's a poor window if he's starting next
It's
season.
not a poor window if he's starting because he's a good player.
So you wouldn't prioritise
Dan,
his
if he had his
replacement.
way, mate, we'd have Elliot Lee up front.
So
Look,
no fight.
Flynn Downs could step into the role of playing
Poyet.
the holding midfield role for the club.
Do you want him to start
Yeah,
in
I
that
do
holding
want him to start,
midfields
yeah,
next
I wouldn't
season?
mind.
So
He's the man.
would you rather us not go out and sign someone and start down?
No,
Yeah.
I'd rather us go and sign someone, but I think he can start.
No, wait, yeah, but-
there's no problem in the player starting. This is what
No, but it's-
you're asking
yeah,
me
but-
my opinion, right? My opinion is you keep him. If Declan Rice leaves the club, he can start.
But we can say that. We can go to every player. Like I said, Paqueta, yeah, you could say, well, you know, if we could sign, you know, fucking Messi or something, then it's... But what we're saying, Scott, is it a priority for you that we have someone better than Downs?
No, it's not.
So
that's
as
not
it stands,
priority. Yep.
right, you
Not
would... But you want... Flynn Downs in that role. Okay, yeah, you want Flynn Downs as the starter. Okay, we got there in the end.
That's it. So this is what I said in the first place.
Right.
Keep him.
You
Don't
said...
push him though. If he says keep, then
That's it.
Well, I'm gonna-
No, but I need...
You're asking my opinion, right?
Yeah, but I want you
Flynn
to be
Downs is
clear
a
on
player,
it.
But I'm clear on it. We keep him.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going
You're
to
trying
bench
to be
him.
political.
I'm going to bench
I'm
him.
being honest. You asked me my opinion. That's what I'm
No, but you didn't say keep. You said, but
Keep
if,
him.
unless we, you know.
No, I said keep him.
Right, I'm going to
clear
bench
answer.
him because I think he's a good squad player to have around. I think he'd be useful in the cups.
yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah, bench him.
Sorry, Scott.
It's all right. It's
Don't hit
fine.
me.
But that's it's all about opinion.
I'll bench him because I don't think he's ready to be starting defensive midfielder in the Premier League as it stands based off last season. It's not there. I'd be sort of disappointed if that was the case, if he was starting for us next season. The next one is Maxwell Cornet. So it's an
I would
interesting
sell
one.
him.
Ooh,
I would sell him.
yeah.
I would sell him
Anthony.
because I think we can get better. And I think there's better out there to be got, the likes of Harvey Barnes. Yeah, give me a chance of signing Harvey Barnes, and he said to me, would you keep Maxwell Cornet or would you get Harvey Barnes? I'll get Harvey Barnes. And it'll sort of reduce the cost of Harvey Barnes. You know, we've got to be in for the titles of Harvey Barnes. Harvey Barnes is a brilliant player. He's had a shit season, and his attitude has stank a little bit, but I think we should be in for players like Harvey Barnes. We're in players that are sort of like not quite being looked at by the top clubs, but the mid-range clubs are, you know, really interested. We should be, especially with a trophy and Europa League football, we should be in for players like him. So I'd sell him.
Yeah,
I'd sell him.
that's interesting. Why?
Yeah, I agree. I'd sell him as well. If we can get some good money for him, I think he could be, as Nicky said, someone like Harvey Barnes. You could use him as part of the deal because I think it'd probably suit Championship football. If I'm honest, I feel a bit harsh.
Cornet.
I feel a bit harsh,
Yeah,
like because he hasn't had a chance. But for going right here, right now, I'd say sell him.
I'm saying bench him because of his versatility. He can play all across the front
Got a
line.
big bench, right?
That's it. But you can't start every play. You know, you start 11 players a game and you have a squad of 24. So I'd bench him with versatility. The fact that he can also play left back as well if needed. You know, he's done it before. So yeah, his versatility for me, he stays in the squad.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
keep
a
him
good
on the
shout.
bench.
Yeah. Do you know what? I was leaning between bench and sell, but because of that, like, I think Nicky makes a good point about the Harvey Barnes. I think that would be a good option if we got rid of Cornet out of the left wing and had Barnes there. That's an upgrade. But the fact that he can play up front, for me, is huge because we are going to need someone to do it, and I think he will suit us and he can adapt. His pace can help us on the counter. So for that reason, I'm saying bench. I'm going to go next one. This is an interesting one. Tomas Soucek.
This is a tough one.
It's tough because I like him. I like him as a person.
I
but
love having him around the club.
I think it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because if we lose Rice, he could go either way. We could get someone in to play alongside him that makes him better, or he could be even worse. I'm going to bench him. I'm benching him because I'm in the middle. I'm like Britain's Got Talent when they go to the audience vote.
The only reason I bench him because I don't want to split up the checkmates. I feel because I'm keeping Coufal. It'd be sad, but at the end of the day, I sell him because I just don't see unless Moyes changes his role at the club and says, you know what, you are going to be, play deeper. We're not going to try and have you, try and focus on you making late runs or being so high up the pitch. You're going to be deeper because he is good. He can make a tackle. He can't make a tackle and then start a counter, but he can break up play. Do you know what I mean? It's just hilarious. It's just funny seeing people trying to avoid the camera and some don't. Yeah, so...
Thing is, with
I
Soucek,
think so.
I've been saying it for a few seasons now. I think he can convert into a centre-back. And I
Yeah,
think he
that's
could
a
be a
shout.
decent
He has
centre-back
done
as
that
well.
before.
Yeah.
I mean, defending corners, he's one of the best.
But yeah, I'll bench him because I just don't want to
Yeah.
see him go.
I think, I'm just going to stick to Sell. I can't.
I'm too kind.
I think he's still got a role to play somewhere in the club. I'd bench him. I think that you've got to be looking at.
That's all right.
You've got to be looking at, as for me, Downs, Paqueta is the two, and Soucek's the one in the midfield three that needs to be replaced. But I still have him at the club because I think he's a threat from set pieces. If you're chasing a goal in a game, you're 1-0 down, you're getting a lot of luck on set pieces, you chuck him in the side, so I'll bench him.
What are you saying, Nick? Keep, bench, Sell. Wait, keep him? You mean bench him?
Bench him, yeah.
I would bench him.
Okay, interesting. I would expect that from you. Yeah, this next one's interesting, and this is more of a bench or sell one. And I ask this because Connor Coventry hasn't really played this season, but it seems like he's one of these players that's been around, these young players that's been around for a while, yeah. But it's just that case of, is his time up now? Has he still got time to break in next season, or do we just need to move on?
Unfortunately, it's time for him to move on. He's fallen victim just like Josh Cullen did. You know, he's trying to break through at the wrong time. I think it's now time for him to move on.
Is it the wrong time?
Yeah.
Or is it exactly the right time?
I think it's
Yeah, with Rice, if we get rid of Rice and Soucek playing the midfield.
time he moves on.
I'd sell. I just think if you haven't made it
Like 24.
in like an impression in the first team at this age, I don't think you ever will. And look, Josh Cullen, it worked for him. He went out, he went to Anderlecht, come back to Burnley, and now he's playing Premiership football next season. So maybe Connor Coventry, maybe loan him out, but yeah, I'll sell or
I
loan.
still think there's an issue with, these players. I think some of these players could do it. I'm not going to say they're going to, you can never predict what way a player would go. Harry Kane is a perfect example of that. No one would ever thought Harry Kane was going to become what Harry Kane was in his early years. I don't think these kids get enough chances.
No.
I don't think they get enough chances. There's times when I'm looking at people that are playing in our team that are being picked week in, week out, relentlessly, whether they're performing or not, and I think to myself, there's times when you just think, just chuck him in, see what he does.
Yeah.
But yeah,
What does he do?
I'm with him. 24. Is he 24 now? He's about 23, 24.
23, 24.
Not going to make an impression. Moyes not going to fucking pick you.
Yeah.
his own sake.
Yeah, exactly. For his sake as much as ours, it's time to move on. It's unfortunate, but wish him best of luck. Gianluca Scamacca. Keep, bench, or sell? I personally, I would keep him just because he's an absolutely quality player. He's and Moyes has said it, Rice has said it, Antonio said it. He is top draw, and I think Moyes, if he's going to be, I think he'll be here one more season, and I think we need to find a way to make sure he's here beyond this season. If it means we have to loan him, and then while Moyes is here, then bring him back. But I would rather see us try and find a way to play to his strengths next season, really get the most out of him. Pre-season, adapt. Time to adapt. Let's do it.
I agree. I'll keep him as well because I think there's a lot more to come from Scamacca, and I think you get the right sort of players around here. Imagine having a Ward Prowse in your team with the set pieces and the deliveries he can produce, and Paqueta, the way he just picks up the ball and they've never really played together, have they? So I'd keep him. I'd give him another chance.
Yeah, we've used you keep a player of that quality, and the manager's got to adapt to the way he plays.
Yeah, should be our start.
Between him and Moyes goes.
Yeah.
I thought you say up front. I was saying,
Yeah.
imagine Moisey up front.
So you're keeping him.
This is what it could become. A choice between him. We've got to try and play in that way.
Yep.
Because what we done last season, with the Haller situation, was different. It was working. Last season, it wasn't working.
No.
Now, you're going to go out and spend 40, 50 million quid on a striker, you better make sure that fucking striker hits the ground running, So if it comes down to Scamacca wants to leave, if Moyes stays, then fuck Moyes off. because we need to be playing players like that. You know, we can't afford to be ditching players like that and letting players walk out of this football club if we ever want to progress, and letting the likes of Mikel Antonio stay at this football.
Well, that brings us on to the next one. Mikel Antonio. We're so used to it. We'll get to Nicky's just because we kind of know where he stays. Sell him.
Yeah, toxic. It's become
Toxic. That's a big call.
Has shown, like, Mikel Antonio's attitude when he first come at this football club was perfect. He would do anything for the team.
Yeah.
Anything, yeah. He's that podcast, I don't know whether it's the pay rises, the fucking, you know, a little bit of I don't know, it's gone to his head a little bit, but the podcast for me has really shown his true attitude at the moment, and I think I think it's pathetic that he's doing it. I think it's fucking vindictive. I think it's horrible, and I think he's showing a lot of his true colours.
Wow.
And let's be honest, January time, he was like, I don't give a fuck if I stay here or not. So why should we fucking give a fuck? Fuck him off.
Strong words there from Nicky.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'd sell him. I think his time's up with the football club now. He's been a great servant. You know, he goes out.
I like him.
Yeah, I like him as well, and it's a shame the way he's
You wouldn't know it the way.
No, but it's just, you know, you have to go by what.
But you look at his record, like leading Premier League goal scorer of all time, like scored in the last game at the Bowling. He scored the first goal at London Stadium in the Premier League. Yeah. He's been a great servant, but I just think his time's up now, and I think it's time to cash in on him if we can get maybe what do you reckon he's worth? About 12 million, 15 million.
Yeah.
He'll end up going somewhere like Palace or Fulham or somewhere like that. So I'd sell him.
I'm with you. I think it is time that he moves on. I think now he's got a good legacy at the football club with what he's achieved for the club and stuff like that. And I think, like Nicky said, his attitude seems to be changing. And I don't want him going out with a bad taste in the fans' mouths. You know what I mean? He should bow out now. You know, stop all the silly.
Well, he leaves on a high, doesn't he? European champion.
Exactly. Yeah, that's it. I think, like Nicky said, with his attitude, the way he comes across now, is completely different to what he used to. And you know, he should. You know, it's time to move him on.
Yeah. I'm going to. I don't know what it is. He's obviously. I think he's just an outspoken guy. I think that's what he is, and he come through. He didn't come up the same way everyone else come up where they're media trained and all of that. He's just a normal guy. He don't know when to keep his mouth shut or what not to say. He's too outspoken, and that's something he can rein in.
The podcast that he done was, at the timing of it, I think it's total disrespectful. You know, like, I don't even disagree with the content of it. It's just the timing of it.
Yeah, he just got too comfortable. That's what he did.
This is the thing, yeah? Listen, we sing Antonio's name more than anybody's. You know, Antonio, ringing around every away ground you go, 15, 20 times a game.
Yeah.
And the way he speaks about this football club, it's no respect.
Yeah.
I'm going to disagree with all three of you and say bench, and the reason is because as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know, David Moyes will still be at this club next season, and if you've got an Antonio on the bench, that's your safe option. He seems to be the only striker, Arnautovic, that Moyes can fit Moyes' system. Moyes can do anything with. Moyes can get a song out of, because we've seen it, striker after striker. It just doesn't work. Yeah, that's a problem. But unfortunately, that's a problem that to date we don't seem to be able to solve. So as things stand, I keep Antonio, because if we do try and go around fit to Scamacca, and Moyes does try that, it doesn't work, or he tries to get another striker in, it doesn't work. You've got an Antonio there that he can go, do you know what, that's my guy, I can rely on him, and we've got that, and we're not in the complete
I do
shit.
agree with that, but one thing I would say, that if I was the club, I'll be turning around and say to Antonio, no more podcasts, no more doing that, wait until you retire. Because that upsets a lot. Some of the things he said, as Nicky said, it did upset a lot of the fan base, and it upset his teammates as well. You know, there was a lot of players that were not really interacting with him at some points. So but he's a good player.
This one is interesting. Danny Ings.
He goes back to the Championship. Do you know what? I've always wanted to sign Danny Ings. He's one of the players that I've been talking about for years, but think he's just had it.
The timing, yeah.
And
And I just don't think he suits Moyes. I don't.
I think he's another player that could be used as part of a deal. If we're going to dip into the Championship, whether we go for Southampton players or Leicester players, I think he suits both of them clubs. So I'd sell him. It's a shame because, as Nicky said, we've always known Danny Ings as that goal scorer. And maybe he should be given another chance, maybe a pre-season at least, but I'd sell him.
Yeah, I'd sell him at this stage. If we can get some money for him, I'd rather get another striker in. I'd sell him at this stage.
Well, with Antonio, with me wanting to get rid of Antonio, I'll bench him because I still think he's got a thing to play. Again, he falls under that same bracket as Scamacca. It's the wrong manager for the striker, but he is a goal scorer, but he can't play the lone striker role, which we keep putting him in. We've got to look to adapt, and the way to adapt is look at different systems.
I'd be interested to see him and Scamacca. Yeah, I'd be interested to see how that would work.
And this is the thing. This is what we've got to look at. We're trying to move away from relying on the likes of Antonio and Anatovic, who wrestle defenders and all that. You've got to look to play different styles, look to play different brands of football. And Danny Ings is a player that you could utilise doing that.
Yeah. Jared Bowen.
Keep.
I think we'll all say keep. Yeah.
Keep. He's his form dipped a bit during the season, but you always knew you could rely on Jared Bowen, and at some stage he was going to produce for us, and what a stage he done it on, the final.
So he can have another great season next season from the start because we need him.
I just hope that he don't divorce Danny Dyer.
Yes,
to be honest.
I think not getting picked for England has helped him.
Yeah, give him that kick up the arse, didn't it?
Yeah, I think he that's when he seemed to really dip when he got that call up.
Yeah.
Saeed Benrahma finally. Keep.
100% keep.
I think he can only kick on and improve from there. Seems like a great bloke, loved in the club, great guy. Saeed Benrahma, we're keeping him. So that's our keep, bench or sell. Let us know yours in the comments down below. Which ones do you agree with? Which ones do you disagree with? And let's hope we've got a load of new players in next season that we can then talk about whether we're going to keep, bench and sell next season. So thank you all for watching. One thing left to say. Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.